Hello, welcome to the production of the Port Huron Area School District, Our Schools. It's a program about the schools of the Port Huron Area School District for and about the citizens in the schools. We appreciate the opportunity that we have of being with you today and sharing this information. The guest today is Dr. Larry Crosby, who is the principal at Port Huron High School. Welcome, Larry.
Thank you.
Today we're going to have an opportunity to go around the building with the guidance of Dr. Crosby, see some of the buildings, give you an opportunity to see many of the students, some of the activities. In addition to that, see some of the unique things that are occurring at Port Huron High School. Dr. Crosby, where do you see Port Huron High School?
Port Huron High School?
Yes.
Port Huron High School is a Class A high school. It's one of our largest in our county, and it's a high school that's technology on the move, academically strong, and a school that involves activities for all its students.
Very, very rich in tradition. What was the first year Port Huron High School opened?
First graduating class was in 1869, 125 years ago.
So we've got a rich history that the community has enjoyed and appreciated and been very supportive of.
That's correct.
If you were to talk about your tenure in the school, how would you see the changes over your time compared to when you first came in?
Well, I came to the Port Huron Area School District 22 years ago and have worked at all levels in our district. And 7 years ago came to Port Huron High School. And since then, with the team of teachers and administrators and with the input from you and the Board of Education, we've made some substantial changes in this building. And with the help of our parents and our outstanding Big Red students, we're very proud of what we have accomplished.
It would only be appropriate to note that your experience is combined of school administration at the high school level, intermediate, elementary, as well as central office. So you bring
Yes,
all those
right.
attributes in, and that's the kind of leadership that we were looking for in order to make the changes into the 21st century. Larry, why don't we take a walk around the building and see some of the highlights of the school and the facilities that you have and what we're so proud of.
Okay.
Larry, over the last couple of years, Port Huron High School has had some extensive renovations. Why don't you just hit the highlights of the renovations and tell what they are?
Well, as you know, we have not had the normal size media center that we've had before, and because of the renovations, we now currently have one of the largest media centers in square footage in our county, and we are also working in new science labs. We have 2 new science labs, and we also expanded the cafeteria.
And about 50%, if I understand.
Yes, and did a lot of renovation of the old library, and creating more classroom space, and a new band and choir wing.
Right.
And those facilities really have made a great difference for our students. And
those programs have been a strong tradition of the Port Huron High School, and you've done some other things such as the renovation of the counseling area and the principal's office area, in addition to some of the displays such as the one we have right here. This brightens up the environment for the kids and provides a very positive
that's correct.
attitude.
We're going to see some more of the other showcases when we get down in the gymnasium area.
Well, let's walk on down towards the Wall of Fame area, and let's look at some of the things that you've done to stress the importance of academics at Port Huron High School. Larry, one of the new programs that you've implemented here at the high school is the Honor Student of the Month program. I know it stresses academics is the important part, but why don't you tell us what its purpose is?
Well, first of all, Mr. Moeller, this is the honor roll, and the honor roll is displayed each of the 6-week marking periods we have throughout the year. All students who have a B average or higher appear on this list. And then we highlight each student in academics each month, as well as the athletic area. And these students here, these are the students of the month for September, October, and November. And December currently is in the Wall of Fame, which we're going to see in just a minute. Once a student has been in the Wall of Fame for 1 month, then we move their picture into this area here so they're displayed throughout the entire year.
So the students that are selected for the month for academics as well as athletics have their picture taken jointly It's displayed here in the Wall of Fame area as well as other locations in the building.
That's correct.
Are these names and pictures included in the school publications that you
Yes.
have?
They're on Channel 6, plus they're in our newsletters.
Do you get much of a response from students looking at this to see who's on here and did I make it this month or this marking period?
Yes. We didn't used to put this cellophane over here because so many kids were over here checking it, and we wanted them to stay clean and not have any fingerprints on them. Some students like to highlight themselves a little bit, so.
To draw attention to their name being
That's
on the
right.
list. This is pretty significant. I know the number of students that you have included in the list have grown since you initiated the program, and obviously that's because of the importance of the academic question.
That's right.
Good job. Larry, let's proceed on down to the Wall of Fame and look at that, and I'll ask you to explain that for our guests and audience as well.
Okay.
Larry, Port Huron High School is steep in tradition and history, and 139 years of high school in the Port Huron area. And as a result of that, I know you've established the Wall of Fame, and it highlights various aspects of the school. Why don't you just share with our audience what the Wall of Fame is and what you highlight there?
On this wall are the most important significant awards that we give annually to our student body. And you can probably see that you're on there, and I'm on there, and our area athletic director was on there, and the other part that I'm looking at over here is the section where we show all of the former athletic directors, and along the bottom and along the sides are every principal who's ever been associated with Port Huron High School.
That's quite an exhaustive list of people, too.
It certainly is.
People that have provided the leadership and the tradition. In addition to that, there are some names that the community is very familiar with. For example, Miss Florence Weiss.
That's correct.
You have an award in her honor that you give annually to a student.
Yeah.
And you have also a Miss Marge Leitner Award.
That's
Why don't
correct.
you just highlight those two awards and say what they are?
Well, those two awards go to the outstanding senior in citizenship and also in academics, and who have been involved in this high school the most. And we also have recognition for the valedictorian and salutatorian, which are, from the history of that award, are still here in this area.
So this is an ongoing Wall of Fame. There are pictures being added, names being added, certificates being added. It's a focal point in the community when you have open house and outside groups coming in wanting to look at it and see it. Very good. Why don't we take an opportunity to walk over into the new cafeteria area. You talked about the expansion of it, and before we get in there, we'll just highlight the major changes. You've increased the size by about 50%. And that's in order to accommodate the number of students that you have in the school and to provide for the various parent and student programs that occur as well.
Right.
Why don't we walk on over there?
Well, currently, I just want to mention before we get in there, today is our blood drive today with American Red Cross. Our students are giving blood, and we're going to get a first-hand look at what that looks like. And right behind us, we're giving food to the Salvation Army. Our student body's collecting for needy for Christmas.
Exactly. We might as well take some accolades. American Red Cross indicates annually that the high schools in our district are two of the major contributors of blood. And
That's
obviously
right.
we appreciate the involvement of the students and the opportunity to serve the community.
Maybe we'll have time to give blood while we're in there.
I think I'll wait while you give the blood.
Oh, okay. This area, this complex right here is really the hub of what's happening. You know, students can go into the student commons area here, and they can not only see in here now with the opening of this up, but they can also see all the way through, and it's light, it's cheerful, and we're all proud of it. Very proud.
This facility is used from the time school opens in the morning until it closes at night. So 10, 11 o'clock at night, there's still activities going on in this facility. But in addition to, that's the passing bit.
That's it.
We're going to see the mass exodus now and new students coming in. But you see the facility being used all day in the
That's
morning and during the early afternoon for study hall and academic purposes. And then later in the day, you use it for wrestling.
Wrestling
and
this time of year,
Right.
and then
Other
last night there was a
student
banquet for the wrestlers, and you know, there's a practice here for the Thunderbirds and flags after school and tonight, and it just never seems to stop it.
That's not to mention the non-school groups that use this facility for various meetings that they have or various community activities. And as a result, as I'd indicated, Monday through Friday from about 7:30 in the morning until 9, 10 o'clock at night, this facility is used by students and community in general. Do you think there's been a change in the way you deliver education in Port Huron High School now compared to 1980?
Yes. Yes, we have.
Technology,
Oh, definitely.
Expectations?
Expectations are extremely high today. You have to be. And you have to be able to make adjustments and change.
And
we organize it overnight.
Constantly making changes, improvements in the curriculum. And of course, for our students to be admitted to the various universities and college, obviously we have to have a program that meets minimal standards and exceeds those standards in order to be competitive. We have 70 to 80% of our students going into college, which that number in and of itself is phenomenal. But how do you react to the guy that says, boy, I just hired a kid and he can't read and write?
Well, I don't know. They didn't go here.
It's pretty difficult for a kid now to go through school and not get a reasonable level of educational training. Now, there are always extenuating circumstances based on family values, family input, handicaps that the youngster may have, and other circumstances that would prohibit or interfere with that kid's educational process. But any kid that's got difficulties in education now, he has opportunities in the school to get remediation and other types of programs. Why don't you just highlight a couple of those?
Well, I think you may remember we've been moving away from the remediation and looking at a word called acceleration.
Right.
Yeah. Rather than remediate any longer, we move the student to a higher level, a more challenging level, and we're finding that the reason we're doing that is we feel like the students need more input from the classroom than we were giving them at the remedial level. And most students today can handle the fast pace of curriculum and instruction much faster than we were giving them credit for. So, in other words, what we have done is to take the entire student body, that 1,570 students I was talking about, and we have asked them to take a look at moving themselves to more challenging overall classrooms throughout the school.
Are you finding it true that as we say to kids, our expectations are increasing, therefore you've got to produce more, society wants more, your mom and dad wants more, employers want more, that they are stepping up to the window?
That's right, they are.
Okay. When you talk about changing the delivery of program, why don't we talk about, let's talk about it in math. Years ago, we used to talk about practical math, and those were kids that had difficulties with the very fundamentals, adding, subtracting. What have you done in that area?
Well, we have the full-scale program from our remedial type math, which we don't call remedial math, but it is a general math, but it's an applied program.
By applied, you mean hands-on and practical experience?
The students have to use calculators in there. They have to make judgments and probability kinds of things. We have more hands-on type of activities for the students in their learning. But we have a full-range program from that all the way to the advanced placement calculus program with everything in between. But I think what you were thinking of here is that instead of having, when I became principal 10 years ago, or 7 years ago, we had 10 sections of remedial general math. That's 30 in a classroom. What is that? That's 300 students in the lowest level of math.
Right.
Where now, we have maybe one or two.
Schools used to accept the bell-shaped curve. You have 10% at the very most academic extreme. You have the 10% that are at the low end, and the balance are in the middle. And what you've done is you've moved that whole curve to the middle or upper part, and the number that are in the low track has decreased dramatically. And that holds true in other disciplines as well as math, science, and English and grammar.
That's correct.
Okay, so we've made many changes in the academic program. Okay, we appreciate the opportunity, Dr. Crosby, for being in the building and hearing about it, and obviously we're very proud of the facilities and the renovations that you have. We'd like to have gotten into all the portions of the building, and I know you'd like to have had us get into the science and math area, but we're not going to be able to do it because of the interest of time. But we do appreciate the opportunity to be here and hear about your program and get an opportunity to hear from you directly. Well, thank you very much.
Well, thank you.